Good morning. Today we will be discussing Senate Bill 34, Termination of Pregnancy. What is Senate Bill 34? Senate Bill 34, Termination of Pregnancy, was submitted by Florida State Senator Lauren Book, a minority Democratic leader, in response to Senate Bill 300. It has not yet been approved, only filed. Senate Bill 300, Pregnancy and Parenting Support, has been approved by Governor Ron DeSantis on April 13, 2023. This bill says it is illegal to terminate a pregnancy past the point of 6 weeks gestation, as this is when you can typically begin to detect a heartbeat as evidence of life. There are a few exceptions which allow women to seek an abortion up until 15 weeks gestation. These things include incest, human trafficking, and rape. In these situations, court-issued documentation must be provided as proof, such as a restraining order, a police report, or a medical record. Another exception is a pregnancy has posed a significant threat to the pregnant woman's life. This includes death or irreversible damage to a major bodily system. The last is the fetus has a fetal abnormality that is fatal. In both of these situations, it requires 2 physicians to sign off on the termination of the pregnancy. If an abortion is performed any other time beyond 6 weeks gestation, then this bill states that anyone involved has committed a crime and is subject to punishment, even possible imprisonment. Due to this, the goal of Senate Bill 34 is to protect women from punishment or criminalization in the event of an illegal abortion. Now we will discuss key issues with Senate Bill 34. The population most affected by Senate Bill 34 is low-income, unmarried white women in their 20s, as they are currently the group seeking abortions the most. Socially, this bill would likely increase the number of unsafe abortions that occur. As women are protected from any consequences, they will be more likely to perform self-induced abortions. There are many ways in which this occurs, including chemically using medication or physically using sharp objects. Physicians are still not protected from punishments after Senate Bill 34, so they are less likely to provide illegal termination of pregnancies. Ethically, those with a more conservative or biblical worldview would not be supportive of Senate Bill 34, as they do not support abortion. Those with a more secular or humanistic worldview would be supportive of this bill, as they believe women should have the right to choose and the ability to end her pregnancy at any time. Economically, if the number of unsafe abortions increases, healthcare costs will also increase. In many cases, these women are forced to seek care from a healthcare institution following a self-induced abortion due to severe complications. Politically, this bill is better supported by the Democrats, as they tend to be more liberal in their views and believe women have the right to obtain an abortion. Republicans are not as supportive of this bill, as they tend to be more conservative in their views, and many do not agree with the act of abortion. Implications for nursing practice. ANA Code of Ethics, Provision 1.1, Respect for Human Dignity, discusses the importance of recognizing and understanding the value and worth of human life. This principle should not only be applied after birth, but also before. This guides us to value all human life, which discourages the act of abortion. ANA Code of Ethics, Provision 2.2, Conflict of Interest for Nurses, discusses various types of conflict of interest that could occur during a nurse's practice. If a woman requests an abortion beyond what is legal and a physician agrees to it, it can put the nurse into a very difficult situation. It is important that nurses stand up for themselves and what is right, rather than risking their careers, licenses, and legal consequences. ANA Code of Ethics Provision 4.1, Authority, Accountability, and Responsibility, discusses how the nurse is responsible for the care that he or she provides. Nurses are held both personally and legally responsible for their practice. If a problem is noted in their practice or they are involved in something that they should not be, they will be held accountable for their actions. The Florence Nightingale Pledge states, "I will abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous, and will not take or knowingly administer any harmful drug." This principle should guide nursing practice. This would prevent nurses from being involved in any illegal act or practice, such as the termination of pregnancy, beyond the legal point. The Florida Nurse Practice Act also states that nurses who participate in fraudulent practices are subject to disciplinary action. This would also include performing or aiding in an illegal termination of pregnancy. This is also considered a serious misdemeanor, putting the nurse at risk for losing her license. While Senate Bill 34 protects women from consequences, it does not protect anyone else who is involved. Biblical implications. Genesis 1:27 says, "So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them." According to this verse, God created humans in his image. This creates an innate sense of value associated with human life, including that of the unborn. Psalm 139:15 says, "My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in secret, and skillfully wrought in the lowest parts of the earth." According to this verse, God has personally created and designed each of us. We each have a unique and specific purpose, which also leads us to value all human life, including that of the unborn. These verses and biblical principles lead Christians to disagree with Senate Bill 34, as they value the lives of all humans, including the unborn, and disagree with the act of early termination of pregnancy. Data supporting the change of Senate Bill 34, termination of pregnancy. In the state of Texas, a 6-week abortion ban was enacted. Following this, online sales of medications intended to initiate self-induced abortions tripled. This is predicted to happen in Florida as well, significantly increasing the amount of self-induced abortions that occur. According to the World Health Organization, 30 women per every 100,000 women who obtain an unsafe abortion die as a result. As more women seek unsafe abortions, as they are protected from all consequences, more deaths will occur. Millions of women are also forced to seek care following an unsafe or self-induced abortion due to severe or life-threatening complications. These numbers will also steadily increase in Florida if Senate Bill 34 becomes a law. Failed abortions, which are also very common with unsafe or self-induced abortions, can cause the very complicated or dangerous pregnancies. It can also cause the baby to be born with severe complications or disabilities. These things also will cause the cost of healthcare to increase, as they are a strain on the healthcare system. Recommendations for Senate Bill 34, termination of pregnancy. Ideally, this bill should not be passed at all, but if it is passed in its current state, it will lead to an increased number of unsafe, self-induced abortions, as women are protected from all consequences of breaking the law. It also places an increased risk of criminalization on all healthcare professionals, as they will be the ones held liable in the event of an illegal abortion. If this bill is changed to include some sort of consequence for the women seeking the abortions as well, then it will discourage illegal abortions. It will also help decrease the number of unsafe and self-induced abortions, which can lead to severe complications or even death. The severe consequences, such as imprisonment, should be removed, but a consequence of a lesser extreme should be initiated in its place.